Okay, so I missed last week, and this week I'm doing it on my phone, so I don't miss another week. And of course, this is just me rambling. Who really cares? Who really wants to come and listen to what I've got to say? But I said I was going to do it, so I need to stick to it. Anyway, I feel like the worst. So for my first video, this is when I'm kicking myself thinking, if all these weeks I had been good, I could have been looking great right now. I don't feel it. I feel so horrendous. I feel so old and ugly, and I just feel the worst I've ever felt. I don't even want to go on the scales. And what's happened is I think the more I try and lose weight and eat healthy, I think the more I just kind of binge. And anyway, I picked up a book last night that my mum bought us, and I haven't read for a while, and it's called You Recharged. I never quite finished it anyway, but in this book, it's basically, well, part of it was talking about last night, where I was up to actually, about bad habits, and she used food as an example. Oh. So she used food as an example, and what she said was, when we say to ourselves, we can't have this, we're not going to have this, then what happens is we feel like we're in scarcity. We feel like we're suffering a lack of, which is obviously what that means. But so we're suffering lack, and then your body does everything to kind of think, oh well, I need it. I haven't got it in my life, and I really need it. And it kind of what happens, it has the flip effect where you end up then wanting to eat stuff that you're trying to stop even more. And that's exactly what I've been doing. I've had pizzas, I've had takeaways, I've been stressed with work as well. So, and what it said was, obviously look at your life, what you're not happy with, and start implementing things like positive things, and eventually the negative things will start fizzling rather than focusing on them. And I think I mentioned something briefly about this in one of my other videos, but not with this kind of perception of it. So that's exactly what I'm going to try and do. So today I've been on a mission tidying my house because that stresses us out, which I feel better already. I'm going to have to leave soon to pick Ruby up, but I just honestly feel so awful. So I'm going to sort my face out, put a tiny bit of makeup on, make myself feel a little bit better. And one of the things I think I need to do is get out of the house more and socialise. Definitely the socialising, because you can go in a negative spiral where you think, I don't want to go out because I don't look good and I've got nothing to wear, so then you don't go out, and you think, well, I'll go out when I start looking good and when I start feeling good about myself. Or you can just get out, and then when you come back in, I think you feel some sort of satisfaction that you've done it, and it helps with obviously being disciplined and not needing to go and binge because you're miserable and you've been in the house all day. So that's kind of what I'm trying to tell myself. I feel quite okay today though, other than feeling like I look horrendous. Like I feel motivated and I feel positive. So one of the things I need to do is arrange to meet up with friends and get out of the house. I think that's the worst thing you can do, is being stuck in the house. So even when I go for a walk with the dog, I feel like so much better just being out into the air. You kind of forget sometimes that there's a world outside when you're kind of locking yourself in the house and just not really wanting to engage with life. You think, that's the best place for you because you feel miserable, you don't want to bump into anybody. When you do go out, it just gives you a little bit of a boost. Got 2 lumps by me, yeah. So yeah, so that's what I'm trying to do, is I'm trying to just introduce things that I know are going to make us feel good into my life. And if I have a bit of bread, if I have something I was wanting not to have, I'm not going to put myself down too much. You can say I'm not great health. I'm not healthy. Look at the state of my eyes. That's another thing as well. So today I've said, right, well, I need to eat more fruit and veg in my diet. So if I have chocolate, but I want to start just focusing on good stuff. So I had fresh orange, squeezed orange this morning, and I had a banana, mango and spinach smoothie, which was lovely. Did I drink it all? Yeah, I did. Which was really, really nice. So I feel already just like, and then I've been tidying my house, which was honestly a bomb site. So I feel good doing that because I feel like everything's getting put away after a busy weekend. And then I want to be finished for Ruby coming in from school so we can do some activities. So therefore I'm spending quality time with her without getting stressed thinking the house is a mess. I've got to do this, I've got to do that. Yeah, but anyway, I want to quickly just cover on this. I went to a community council meeting a couple of days ago, and the street went to complain about the parking across the road from our houses. you know, if we go out and come back, we can't get parked because there's people parking on the other side, and if we do park, nobody can get past, and sometimes people knock on my door. So we went there. So that was our intention. But then what ended up happening is, I'm just looking for me. I can't find it in mind. What ended up happening is they were talking about antisocial behaviour, you know, like teenagers around the estate. And then I just sat thinking, you know, these kids have got nothing to do. Like, there's no funding, they even said. The funding's not really there anymore for activities to do. So it's given us an idea to kind of think of things to do, to go and obviously engage with these teenagers, and get them off the streets basically, and give them something, like give them a purpose other than just getting up and going to school. Do you know what I mean? Or come back and going on the computer or going on their phone. I really want to give them like a purpose, but it's just really hard thinking of what kind of things to do. And then one minute I think, oh yeah, that's a great idea, and then the next minute I think, oh, I can't be bothered. But that's just because of my energy levels and the way I feel at the minute. That looks horrible colour on my skin, doesn't it? I think I need a lighter one. So that's something that I'm trying to focus on to do for the kids. And then we've got Ruby, my daughter, who is really not liking going to school. She likes school when she's there. School's not the problem. It's more the fact that she's got to be there 5 days a week, 6 hours a day. And she said that to me months and months ago, and it's been on my head. And I totally agree. I'm like, wow, yeah, she's in school 5 days a week, 6 hours a day. Sitting down, listening, getting knowledge just spewed into her all day long. Things that maybe she doesn't really need to know. I do think primary schools is better than secondary school on what they teach. I think it's important, the things that they teach, obviously how to read, how to write, you know, basic maths, how to share, all them kind of things are really, really good. But then obviously when you go to secondary school and you have to do things like that you would never use, I think it's a bit sad that kids are put under so much pressure to pass exams on like things like pi and stuff like that. Like, when would you ever need to apply that unless you want to do something that involves like that level of maths and that level of like science that you need that. So I just think it's a bit daunting. So then I'm like really considering homeschooling now again. I was, and I thought it's too much. I need to sort my life out first, which I'm trying to do. And then I'm obviously really seriously thinking about it. But my worry is that she's not at school and that I can't find other home groups who are homeschooling so that she can actually mingle with other kids her age. I know there is loads of people at homeschool, but in Newcastle there's not as many as I initially thought there was. So I need to think about it seriously and think about the things that I could be doing with that. Make sure I've got a plan, because ultimately I think education is really important. But I just think the way that the schools teach it isn't necessarily always the best way. You know, like sit and listen and do. I think exploring and letting your child kind of guide you as well, rather than being so regimented. I think some kids that works for, like me, I loved school. Absolutely loved learning, loved homework. It's a bit of a weirdo. But Ruby's just not like that. She's active, she wants to be up, she gets bored. If sitting down trying to learn to read, she loves maths, absolutely loves it. I think things with the puzzle that she has to solve, like she's really good at, and obviously she's got great logic as well. She's very creative, so I need to kind of let her try and explore those things without constantly just learning stuff that is going to end up making her into like, we've seen that image on Facebook where kids go into this machine and they're all happy and lovely and free loving kids, and they come out like all the same uniform and they're all grey and like this. I feel like that's what it is. Kids are just moulded into like to be the same. They're all taught the same, they're all tested the same. Oh god, it's a bit dark for me. Yeah, they're all moulded the same and tested the same, but then when they leave school they're expected to stand out, and I think it's quite a bizarre situation. Like I said, some people are really good at academic stuff, some people aren't made for that, and that's okay. She might not want to go up to be a doctor or an accountant. She loves art, you see, she wants to be an artist or a ballerina. I think she might change, and she has to be subject to certain things to find out for herself what she wants to do. But I think the way the schools are, yeah, I think it can be quite hard. So anyway, so my mood at the minute is, like I said today, I'm feeling quite positive and quite motivated. And hopefully I can get me podcast or get some Zoom sessions where I can help people sorted really soon. But anyway, even just looking in the camera there, I think I don't look so bad looking in the mirror. I'm looking at the camera, I'm like, oh my god, I look hideous. Anyway, I'm going to say it for next week, but I'm going to be back on next week and I'm going to try and implement these positive things that this book tells us about, so you will find out if it works. So see you next week.